Have you ever wanted to play a VR simulation within VR where you command virtual ships and fighters to fight against other virtual ships and fighters of the same types? Well, if so, you have oddly specific tastes. So let's talk about that. Skylight is a $15 turn-based game where you command ships and fighters on your holographic projector to fight against other ships and fighters. It's available for VR as well as the regular desktop mode, which is what I'm playing for this review. There's a specific amount of ships and fighters you can choose from along with the enemy AI's preset amounts. There's a limit you have on both capital ships you have as well as non-capital ones. When you get dropped into a fight, you choose where you want to go and what you want to attack with each individual ship. Once you press this green button, the simulation will start and act out the commands you set. The simulation will stop at intervals, allowing you to give out new commands for your ships. This continues until you either run out of ships or the enemy runs out of capital ships. Now, when looking at this game, I personally don't think it looks like a bad game necessarily so long as its gameplay holds up. But it doesn't. One of the first things I noticed is how slow-paced this game is. When I think of a space shooter or game where I command a fleet, I don't exactly think fast-paced action, but this isn't really either of those. Just a holographic projection where you control what your fleet does and is not actually representative of what it would be like to be in a space battle, which is what you would typically imagine out of a video game. But that's okay. If you think about buying this game though, it would probably be due to its strategic gameplay. In my opinion though, the AI quite a bit gets in the way of that, as it seems to either be broken in some situations and will flat out not do what you tell it to do, or do extremely simple commands one at a time usually. Even if the AI worked exactly as I wanted and expected it to, however, there's still the issue of strategy. The main issue I have with it is that it's usually very easy to exploit by simply using the best ships, the bombers. The main capital ships I typically never had to worry about, but if you just went with the best ships, you win. Really, it's that easy. Even if the game were more balanced, however, you could, at least theoretically, just copy what the enemy AI's ships are and go after their capital ships first. I never tried it because it was already easy enough to exploit the game and the game's mechanics, but I don't see why that strategy wouldn't work. If I could suggest something for this game or the games from the same developer in the future, it would be to make the enemy AI have their own set of ships, ones that you can't choose, so it becomes more about countering the AI as opposed to just copying it and going with a slightly better strategy. Even if all of those issues were out of the way, however, I could only imagine myself recommending this game if you absolutely want to play this game for its unique mechanics, as I personally haven't seen any turn-based strategy games quite like this. Then again, that might just simply be because I don't typically play turn-based strategy games. Still, $15 is such a high price to ask for, considering the broken and easily exploitable mechanics and the fact that you can get a lot better games out there for free. I could only ever recommend this to people who are die-hard fans of this exact gameplay style because I haven't really seen it out there before, at least that I can think of, but for everyone else, just stick with whatever games work for you. As always, I encourage you to have fun.